being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Super Draft today and see for yourself.
We're behind. They're all fired up. What we got to do? First place, our defense has got to go out there and take the ball. Then when we get the ball, we got to have 11 people that's going to do their job and try to score every time you get the football. If we do that, we'll be all right. Do that, we'll be all right.
If you want that smoke, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Bama Smoke. And before we get started, I need to throw out some thank yous. One thank you I need to go out and give it to is my man Spencer. I've been gone for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks. No Joey on the CTS Sports Room. And my man Spencer held it down, took care of everything. I want to thank him. If it wasn't for Spencer, we probably won't even have a CTS Sports Room right now. So thank you, Spencer, and to the rest of the gang, Waylon, William, Roll Tide Rise Up. And also a big thank you to Ty Hayes from Around the Table Sports and Jonathan Lewis from College Football with Jonathan Lewis. They're helping us out a lot. Please, if you're watching today, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. Go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're on the march to 2,000. We already, even though we're below 2,000 subscribers, we got a great community. People, we got Nick Saban Jr., we got Waylon, we got all these other guys coming in. Even we're starting to get little Georgia fans, little Auburn fans coming in, want to talk a little trash. Fine, come on, bring it, we're good. Also, before we get started for today's show, I got some announcements. Even though I've been gone for 4 weeks, I have been working behind the scenes. Not as much as Spencer, but I've been working behind the scenes. We got some watch-alongs. I want to give a special thank you to Tommy Bowden, Coach Tommy Bowden, Coach Al Borges, Jason Campbell, and Matt Cadell, former wide receiver from Alabama. We got some watch-alongs. Now, I want to go ahead and tell you the first watch-along we're going to have is Clemson versus Tennessee from 2004, the Peach Bowl. And I got to be honest with you, it's a learning process. You're going to see it's a learning process. We had some technical difficulties. We had Tommy Bowden for an hour. We only were getting recorded for like 25, 30 minutes because of technical difficulties. And if I had like a whole 24 hours and edited it, and I could probably make it into a masterpiece. I really don't have that much time. So we're just going to go straight through. Whatever you see is what we got. But like I said, Al Borges, we did the watch along with Al Borges and Jason Campbell from the 2004 Arkansas season. And I'm going to tell you, that's what I envision a watch along to be, is basically what was going on behind the scenes. What was this play? Why was the concept of this play? And Al Borges nailed it. Thank you again. And speaking of that 2004 season, that's what today's show, all Alabama fans spoiled. And I really got to thinking, and the reason, let me tell you what happened. So I was watching Around the Table Sports today with Ty Hayes. I was watching that. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's no secret that I get most of my material from him because he's so educated. Why this guy's not on ESPN or ABC or any other sports network, I don't have no idea. This kid has more talent in his little pinky than I have in my entire body. But needless to say, I was watching it, and he was doing a video about Alabama. And basically, the Alabama, Nick Saban doing, see, we got somebody in the win chat room. Roll Tide. Roll Tide rises up. I just said you, man. What's going on? It was a video about Alabama fans and how Nick Saban said this was a rebuilding year. And I want to go back to 2004 for a second. And your voice is coming back. Well, thank you, Spencer. I hope you heard my thank yous. Oh yeah, by the way, 4 weeks I had pneumonia, so, and I also had strep throat. So Maxine, what's going on? What's going on tonight? We're going to talk some Alabama football. I hope you stick around and watch it. I hope you look like that in the picture too. Jeez Louise. Anyway, so the 2004 season, I would have to say everybody knows me. Al Borges knows it. Jason Campbell knows it. We talked before, and they know my hatred for Auburn football. I have a thank you. I appreciate that. They know my hatred for Auburn football. I hate Auburn football. I hate Auburn football with a passion. I hate it. And I think it started as a young kid, but it was okay. You know, I wasn't that bad with it. Now I hate Auburn football. And watching the 2004 season was probably the pinnacle of my hatred. I hated 2004. And I think what I'm trying to say is, I think it's because of the fans. The fans of Auburn football really get on my nerves. And here's why. And we're going to go back to the Alabama, because it's a point I'm trying to make here. In 2004, Auburn went undefeated. They didn't win a national championship, but they had a great team. And I think the statute of limitations, I think we can all agree that the Auburn 2004 football team was a fantastic team. I think I can admit it now. 18 years later, I can admit it. Back then, I would never admit it. I can admit it now. 6 national championships later, I can admit that a 2004 Auburn football team was a fantastic team. Cadillac Williams, Jason Campbell, Ronnie Brown, you know, the offensive mindset of Al Borges, Tommy Tuberville. I mean, I can go on. They had a great team. But with any team, you have, in a fan base, you have bandwagoners. You have people that come in during the glory days and leave when the glory days are over. And that's what happened in 2004. The mouths on some of the Auburn fans, I mean, some of the people will come in and I will be at work, or I'll be at church, or I'll be at eat, I'll be doing something, and the Auburn fans wouldn't know how to shut the hell up. Saying the stupidest crap. I wonder how many yards Bo Jackson's going to throw this year. No, but Bo Jackson ain't going to throw the ball this year, man. Well, I think we're going to win 2 Heisman trophies this year. You can't win 2 Heisman. Shut up. You know, obviously, most Auburn football fans don't watch football. They don't. Either their grandfather graduated from Auburn, or they just want it because their daddy was an Auburn football fan, and they don't even want it. They just want to be there and part of the Alabama-Auburn mess and be there. Woo-hoo! That's most of the Auburn football fans that I know. I can't speak for the old fan base. Most of the Auburn football fans don't watch football. They don't like football. And they watch one game a year, and they don't even pay attention to that game. That's the Iron Bowl. And all they want to do is talk trash. So the pinnacle of hatred for the 2004 season, just the Auburn football team itself started in 2004. But like I said, I can admit now that I saw greatness in 2004 and I didn't appreciate it. Now I can look back and appreciate it thanks to people like Al Borger who came on here and showed me his offensive mindset. Thanks to Jason Campbell. Now that goes back to Alabama. We have our own cancer in our fan base. We have our own problems. Are Alabama football fans spoiled? Yes. We are spoiled. We are definitely, before I get started, I want to go ahead and see what's going on. Got some Spencer. Okay. So was that the team that was on probation? No, that was the 93 team. 2014 was the team that went undefeated and could have won a national championship if they had an opportunity. They would have won a national championship. It was hands down. It was between Oklahoma, USC, and Auburn, and Auburn got screwed over. I will admit to it now. Back then, I used to make a joke saying, "You're in the SEC and you went undefeated and you still didn't go to the national championship." But that just shows you how flawed the BCS was. So no, they weren't on probation. But are Alabama fans spoiled? Yes. Here's why. We as a Alabama fan nation have done something that no other college football team has ever done. And since 2007, listen to this. Since 2007, 8 SEC championships, 6 national championships, 11 bowl wins, including BCS national championship wins, 11 SEC West Division titles, 7 football playoff appearances, 4 Heisman Trophy winners, and 176 to 19 overall record. That's amazing. You're never going to see that ever. In 15 years, that's what Nick Saban has accomplished. Let that sink in for a little bit. 176 wins, 19 losses, 6 national championships. In 15 years. Do you realize there's programs that's been playing football for over 200 years and they have never won a national championship? I have one like I played. Since I've been alive, I've seen 7 national championships come to Alabama. 7. And one coach brought 6. As an Alabama fan, am I spoiled? Yes, I'm very spoiled. But I'm humble enough because I lived through the bad days. And as a fan, I was right there. I was right there during the bad times. Some of you guys can't say that. Oh, I'm only been a fan since 2014. Okay, good. You chose a winning team. Just like me. Back in the 90s, I chose the Bulls as my favorite basketball team. It was easy to choose the Bulls as my favorite basketball team in the 90s. But guess what? Back when Brent Berry and Herschel Hawkins and Tony Kukoc and when they were the starting lineup, I was right there cheering on the Bulls. The series between Kevin Garnett and the Celtics was right there with Kurt Heinrich and Ben Gordon to cheer on the Bulls. I was there during the bad times. I'm going to be there for the good times. The Falcons, I had nothing but bad times. But I was right there. When Michael Vick went to prison, I was right there. When Brian Leverage went down, I was right there. Joey Harrington as a quarterback because he had no offensive line. He couldn't throw the ball. I was right there. The 28-3 Super Bowl, and they blew it. And all the playoff runs, they blew. I was right there. Alabama, Music City Bowl, Minnesota versus Alabama. I was inside Titan Stadium cheering on Alabama. As fans, we are spoiled. But at least majority of the Alabama football fans know what the hell they're talking about. They know about the sport. You can't go to most Alabama fans and say, hey, look, hey, do you know who Kenny Stabler is? Yes. But you can go to an Auburn fan. Majority of Auburn fans, I'm speaking on my behalf. Most Auburn fans I know, can you tell me who Pat Dye is? Who? Can you tell me who Bo Jackson is? Yeah, he's a wide receiver. Really? Can you tell me how many national championships Auburn football has won? Oh, we've won 20. No, you haven't. We've won more than Alabama football. No, you haven't. 2. Should it be more? Yes, in 93. They should have won a national championship in 93. Should they have won in 2004? Yes, they should have. But they didn't. This Nick Saban has came out and said that last year was a rebuilding year. According to Ty Hayes on Around the Table Sports, Nick Saban has come out and said last year was a rebuilding year. We went to the national championship. The national championship. I'm sorry. Don't remind me, please. That's talking about the Falcons. Let's see what Spencer Hicks has to say. Spencer, I didn't see website. Where did you put? Okay. Last year was a rebuilding year. We went to the national championship. We won the SEC championship. That's a successful season. A very successful season. And that's what you call a rebuilding year? 1 loss? Well, 2 losses counts as a national championship loss. That's a rebuilding year? Usually a rebuilding year is what, like a 8-5 season? A 7-6 season, maybe? That's a rebuilding year. Clemson, same thing. It was a down year for Clemson. They went 10-3 during the season. 10-3, something around that. 9-3, 10-3. I don't know. Whatever Clemson did, I don't know. But that was a down year for some of these programs. I don't understand it. And then you talk about recruiting. Let's go to recruiting. Since 2011, Alabama has finished with the top recruiting class 9 times, according to 24/7 Sports. I'm going to just name a source. Never been a year that they didn't finish in the top 5 since 2011. Yeah, I think we're getting spoiled. This year, I see Alabama going to the national championship. I see Alabama winning a national championship. There's no doubt that Alabama's going to win the national championship. I mean, Texas A&M, I'm sorry. Texas A&M is not going to win a national championship. There's no way. Is that a photo of a basketball behind? Yes, there's a picture of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan at the All-Star game. So, yeah, I just had to get that off my chest today. Thank you to Ty for the inspiration on your video. Thank you to Al Borges for the inspiration. Today's guest, he hasn't shown up yet, but he's out from Outlaw of College Football. OCF Productions, my friend. We did a video together about professional wrestling. What's messed up? That's messed up. Well, I don't understand. What's so messed up? Michael Jordan, 2 of the greatest of all time, right behind me. It's not messed up. From OCF Productions, Jason Paul Clark. This guy is raw. I mean, I'm going to give you guys a warning. This guy right here, he doesn't hold anything back. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you guys got to think? Bama beating everybody's ass this year. That Stephen Hicks, yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're number 1 in recruiting right now. What do you guys have to say? What do you think about Alabama football fans? What do you think about the bandwagoners? What do you think about the Auburn football fans? What do you think about Texas A&M fans? Who has the worst fan base? Whose fans are more spoiled? More spoiled. English, ladies and gentlemen. Alabama, more spoiled. What fan base is the most annoying? You tell me. Jason Paul, JPC is coming, but I really want to know. I want to know what guys basketball. William, seriously, it's okay. It's not like it's my man Nick Saban Jr. Nick Saban Jr. He always has something to say. So Nick Saban Jr. I don't know if you've been watching. Georgia by far has the worst. You know what, Spencer, I have to disagree with that. You have private discussions off and on. Most Georgia fans I know are pretty decent. I think it's because of the last 10 years with Alabama and Georgia that it's been kind of iffy. Right now, Georgia fan base is the most annoying, more than LSU and Auburn. Like, I don't know. I have to disagree. Miami and Notre Dame fans are annoying. I don't even think they're relevant. Miami and Notre Dame. I've never heard of anybody from Notre Dame talk trash. I guess I don't live up in that area. I believe it's Indiana, I think. I don't know. That's sad. Talking about Auburn fans that know football, I don't even know where Notre Dame is. But Miami, well, you know, Miami has a very cool tradition. William Bryant, Roll Tide. Yeah, so people are thinking right now Georgia fans are the most annoying. Georgia fans worse than pesky mosquitoes. Am I excited for football to be back? You know what? Honestly, that's a very interesting question. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm actually football out. Believe it or not. You're like, how can you be football out? Do y'all realize how much football is on during the off season now? You got 400,000 arena football leagues. You got this new league that the Birmingham Stallions just won. You got legends playing football. Then you go back and you can watch old football games on YouTube. There's more football on now. Georgia are the most delusional. They just won a national championship. Let them have the day. So back to this? I'm actually footballed out. And then this year was the first year that I actually, started paying attention to recruiting and everything. Spencer, once again, thank you to Spencer. He taught me about recruiting. I really never ever cared about recruiting. Never ever. Never. And this was the first year because of the CTS Sports Room that I actually paid attention to recruiting. And I'm telling you, recruiting is intense. They said that this is the most interesting recruiting year. I chose a good one to pay attention to. See what we got right here. Bama fans are spoiled, and some are downright ignorant. Okay. The fans that I find most annoying really knows nothing about football or Alabama in general. Bandwagon fans are the worst, no matter what school. I totally 100% agree, and I'm talking to you, LeBron James fans. But yes, but majority of those fans are in the Auburn fan base. Real football and college ball, and Bama rules college ball. Okay. No doubt, Steven. At Skyler, oh, hell yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my guest is finally here from OCFP Productions, Outlaw of College Football. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find him on Facebook as Jesse Parr Clark. That guy is raw to the rawest. He doesn't hold nothing back. My good friend, we did a video a while back where he wore a mask, and this guy's more crazy than I am. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only JPC. Jesse, how you doing? Oh, that's our web stream right there, ladies and gentlemen. We can't hear you. Are you on mute? Check your settings. Love live YouTube. He'll be back. So what we got right here? Texas will be back to getting beaten out of Alabama. I don't know. We don't need to out. We don't need to like teams like Texas. You gotta understand. They have money. Welcome to my world, Joey. I got you. I got you. StreamYard, so you're good. I'm sticking to Wimstream. Man, and you know another thing about fans. Some fans like once that like one thing I hate. I guess you call them bandwagon fans, but I'm gonna be this fan, and then all of a sudden something pisses them off, and then they go, well, I'm this fan, and then I'm like, I want to be everybody's fan. Like, no, look, you can be a fan of football, but you got to be a fan of a team, and you got to have some loyalty. And those are the people like people are not. Remember that. Waiting for JPC to come back. Live TV. I'm glad y'all talked me into doing live. I should just read a book. Microphone permission denied. But you got to So let's do this. Live TV, y'all. Hey, can you hear me? Well, go to your settings and go to your settings and or go to a laptop. Okay. Well, hang on one second. Hey, can everybody hear JPC? Comment yes or no. Okay. Well, I'm not watching the live stream, so I don't know if people can hear you. They said they can hear you a little. Can you turn your speaker up? Okay. All right. If not, we'll do it from the phone. Yeah, you have to go to your settings. All right. We'll hold it down till you get here. Live TV, y'all. Well, anyway, it's okay. We got a good topic. What do y'all think about? I'm gonna get all of our Auburn football fans because honestly, we gotta watch along. I want Auburn football fans to enjoy it. It really is a good tribute to the 2004 season. What do y'all think about teams that have never won anything and they have the biggest mouths? Now, I'm not talking about Georgia. I'm not talking about LSU. I'm talking about teams like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Hang on, does Vanderbilt even have fans? I've never met a Vanderbilt fan. Tennessee fans. Now you say, well, Tennessee won a national championship. Yes. Don't remember. Let's see if Jesse got it fixed. Jesse, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I
All
got a
right.
comment to read from my man William. If it was like my situation, it should reboot his phone, then try again. Well, we got him.
Oh,
Jesse, let me ask you something.
I feel
You're
like
the
the Rock.
outlaw. You're the outlaw of college football.
That's right.
What's the most annoying fan base that you have heard from or seen since you've been alive?
Most annoying fan base. I'll be honest
Yeah,
with you. Sometimes I get annoyed with my own fan base because they come across as elitist sometimes. You know, we've got fans in here telling people, like the other day, I ran into this guy that was telling me that people like you and I, we shouldn't be allowed to make posts or do podcasts about our team because we don't have the grammatical prowess in order to do that. We don't have the kind of diploma that we need in order to make our opinions known.
well, honestly, that's funny you say that. Some way, I do agree to that. And hear me out. Hear me out. When I want to listen to sports news, I want to go with somebody who's knowledgeable and educated. However, the same sources I get my information from is the same sources that guy is getting his information from. And
Right.
since now we have the technology to come on YouTube and Facebook, who's
That's
to
right.
stop us? I think what it comes down to is that we're taking money out of those guys' pockets.
Exactly. Well, you know, those guys that you're speaking of, they have to have a common Joe or common Sally in the know to tell them things. And, you know, we're out there amongst those common Joes too. And sometimes we hear the same things they're hearing, just like you said, before they hear it sometimes. So, like you said, with the day and age of social media, it's sort of evening things out for the common Joe like you and myself.
Right. And we share so many loves. We like love of professional wrestling. You and me, we love professional wrestling. But however, you know how many podcasts and the average Joe can go out there with professional wrestling right now and make a podcast, and they hear the same crap we hear. College football, it's the same way. Right now, we can get the same information, same everything, but my question, I want to go back to the fan base for a second. You say our fan base is getting on our nerves. Do you think we're spoiled?
Yeah, I think it might come down to that. I mean, we've won 6 national championships out of the last 13 years. Some teams don't win one national championship in 130 years of existence. So
Exactly.
we win a national championship, and our fans are like, man, that's ho hum to them. I mean, they don't even get on. I've noticed that Alabama fans don't have a huge presence on YouTube to me, because it ain't just my podcast or your podcast. I've noticed big name Alabama podcasts that don't get the same response as other podcasts.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think I look around and I see Auburn football YouTube pages, and they're doing pretty good. Hang on, I got a comment for you. I agree with Outlaw. People think that you have to be proper grammar excellent to talk and give your opinion. Screw them. You know, and I agree. Just we are basically taking money out of the people who went to go and get an education to do this. Now we have platforms where we can go get a laptop or a telephone, and we can go report sports news.
That's right.
Same way as people with their education.
I'll tell you another thing I have a problem is these people that say that if you didn't graduate from the University of Alabama, that makes you less of a fan, or that you don't even deserve to be a fan.
That's why.
Half the people that graduate don't come back and watch the games. You can't fill them 100,000 seat stadiums with just alumni.
That is just an Auburn football fan ploy, because I'm gonna tell you why. The Auburn football fan base is so tight knit that if you get, it's almost like, because you got to understand, Alabama football is a statewide love. There's more Alabama fans in Alabama than there is Auburn football fans. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Especially now, since it's Nick Saban. So
right.
How Auburn fans get you now? See, I went to Troy. I didn't go to Alabama. I went to Troy.
Right.
How Auburn football fans get you, especially if you live like 45 or 2 hours away from Auburn, is like, well, you didn't go to the school, or you didn't graduate from the school. Well, what about a person that lives in Fort Payne, Alabama, that's an Auburn fan? He didn't go to the school either.
It ain't just Alabama and Auburn fans. It's probably an issue with every fan base that you have these elitist wannabes that say that kind of stuff for whatever reason. And that guy was like talking about how he was a professional script writer, or he was a professional writer, and he had a right to come in there and critique me. I'm like, look, dude, I wasn't coming in here to try to pass some English 109 essay test. So, but for your information, when I did go to college, I had a 92 average, but I didn't think we was in here getting graded. So it was just fun. You just come in here and be a Debbie Downer and wet your diaper about silly shit.
Well, William Brown says I was on one, and some dude told me I didn't go to Alabama. I shouldn't even say Roll Tide. I would have told the guy to kiss my ass. Seriously, I know an Auburn graduate. Seriously, I know an Auburn graduate from the University of Auburn, or Auburn University, however the hell you say it. And he's the biggest Alabama fan. The biggest Alabama fan, and went to Auburn. Think about that for a second. His money went to Auburn, but he's the first one to say Roll Tide.
You know that real rich donor we had back in the day, Logan Young, the one that got us in trouble with the NCAA? He actually graduated from Vanderbilt. So a lot of our rich donors didn't even graduate from here. So they're actually telling that to people that are real important in the program as far as money goes. So they need to sort of reevaluate their statement.
Well, honestly, those people, I think, was it Bo Nix said that about, was talking about Mac Jones, and he said the Alabama fan base talking about it. We didn't, comments like that. We know how. When you live in the state of Alabama, we know the deal. You got two teams. You got Troy, you got Jacksonville State, you got Alabama State, you got Alabama A&M, you got Tuskegee, you got Sam. We can go on and on and on and on and on and on. We got a lot of schools, but you got two main schools. You got Alabama and you got Auburn. You got to pick one, and that's just the way it is in Alabama. So for people who want to come down here and say all that crap, that's just nonsense. To be honest with you, I don't even want to give them time of day. Outlaw, let's forget about those jackasses, because they're not important. Most so-called Alabama fans don't even know half the time what the hell is going on, because they're bandwagoners, Nick Saban Jr. So let me ask you this. What are some of the stories, or what's kind of relationships you have with Auburn football fans?
Auburn football fans?
Yes.
I mean, I got a few friends that are Auburn football fans. I've actually had an employer that was an Auburn football. He graduated from Auburn. I used to work for a vet clinic a long time ago, and that guy by the name of Dr. Kinnett. The ones I run into for the most part, they're usually pretty nice people. So I haven't really run across any bad Auburn fans, to be honest with you.
Really? That's surprising. I've run into so many, especially the female Auburn fan base.
Well,
Those are the worst.
I'm not really saying this because Georgia won a national championship, but even before Georgia won a national championship, they got some of the worst fans to me, the Georgia
Yeah,
fans.
and see, I guess you know what? Outlaw, I have been missing because Kangaroo Black, Spencer, everybody's been telling me this. I've never met a bad Georgia fan, but I have met so many bad Auburn fans. My whole problem about fans and fan bases is the the I guess you could say the bandwagoners. Those are problems for me, but also the people that don't watch the sport and just say I'm an Auburn fan. I hate that. I can't stand that. And majority of Auburn fans I know do that.
I don't like the fans that are fans of these teams that are in big cities like USC and Miami. I really don't like their fans either because they're a bunch of bandwagon fans. You don't see them around when the team's struggling. When they start winning, or they bring in old Tebow, old Lincoln Riley out there in Skittle Shitter land, they start thinking that that they're going to win a national championship this year, and they went 4-8 last year. They don't have no loyalty. They only show up when the team's winning. They say it's because they got beaches and Disneyland and all that. They ain't got nothing to do with it. We got things we could do on a Saturday besides watch football, but we don't because we have loyalty. We know we stick by our team during rough
Yeah,
patches. Those teams in
yeah.
those big cities, they don't stick by their team.
It's something about living near an ocean that people think they more educated or got better lifestyles. I don't know what it is, but you know, my whole situation, this week has been pretty much, I've been I I noticed the 2004 season, and going back to what you said about the etiquette and one thing for me personally, I want to move on to your page and your YouTube channel. One thing for me personally, everybody says I'm unconfident and I'm down on myself. I'm not down on myself. I'm a very confident person. And one thing I know for a fact is I'm not the type of person that should be doing interviews. I'm not a guy that should be on YouTube talking sports. I have a speech problem. I don't sound good. I don't have a good voice. My vocabulary is very limited. However, because of the platform that YouTube has given us, I take advantage of it and I have fun doing it. I love talking. I love the fact that I got to sit down with Tommy Bowden and Jason Campbell and Marvin Constant and uh,
You don't have
Cody.
the days of having that radio voice are gone, man. You don't have to have a perfect voice. As long as you come across as genuine and have common sense, nobody gives a shit about that book sense stuff anymore.
Well, I don't have common sense, so that really hurts
Yeah,
me too.
I
But
think
sitting with
I think you're underselling yourself a little bit. You got more
Nah,
common sense.
it was a joke. But the
You
fact
just
that I got to sit down with Terrence Cody and all these great Alabama college football stars and coaches, I mean, it's I'm humbled, and the fact that I get to do that really makes the CTS special, and I love what I do here at the CTS. I hope one day we become a Barstool Sports or a 24/7 Sports. But I want to talk about outlaw of college football. I want to talk about JPC. Talk about because me and you we've been talking off and on. I actually am uh I guess an administrator on one of your pages that people ask me can they be come on the page. I actually like give people permission to be on your page. I don't even think you know that. Did you even know that?
yeah, I do. I'm the one that made
So
the administration.
yeah, so even though we haven't talked in a while, we're still connected, and I want to talk about your Facebook page. I want to talk about your YouTube page. We both have a common friend, college football with Jonathan Lewis. Jonathan Lewis is somebody who's helped the CTS out. By the way, if he's watching, he's probably not, but if he is watching, I want to give a shout out. He's done. We have actually, since he started working with us 2 months ago, we have gone up 3,000 subscribers since he started with the CTS. Uh, but I want to talk about your page. You've been for a long time, you've been raw. You've been outgoing, and you're not scared to say what you want to say. As in some people, like we had certain people come on and think they can come on and talk trash or give their opinion, and we wasn't going to be a rebuttal. You're not that type of person. You're going to rebut what if you don't like somebody saying something, you're gonna fix that real fast. Tell us a little more about your YouTube page and your Facebook.
Well, the thing I try to sell with mine is I got a little mantra that I do at the beginning of the show. It's called "We are the home of the common Joe and the common Sally and No," even more so than all those media talking heads. And that's what I live by because I want it to be about the common Joe. Because I feel like that there's a lot of common Joes out there, like you and I, like I just said earlier, that we have enough knowledge about football. We've been studying football our entire lives. We love college football more than these talking heads. These guys get fed by prompters and all sorts of stuff. They don't know that stuff. We know this stuff verbatim. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about giving the common Joe a voice because that's what makes this whole thing go. Without the common Joe and Sally's, you don't have sports. You know what I'm saying? Not at least not spectator type sports.
Besides football, college football, what's your other favorite? Of course, we have a same common love for professional wrestling. What's the
Yeah,
other sports that you
I like professional wrestling. I mean, because actually you can learn a lot from professional wrestling. Them guys know how to act, they know how to speak, they got mic skills. You have to have it all now in professional wrestling. You can't just be a guy that knows how to wrestle. You got to have mic skills too. And you learn a lot from those guys. They don't get enough credit. Yes, we all know it's scripted before we get some uh, Captain Obvious in here saying, hey, y'all know wrestling's fake, right? Well, no shit. But the thing is, they have a script they go by and they do get injured. Well, you mean falling from the top rope like that onto the concrete floor, that's not fake. That's gonna hurt regardless. So they just it's like I tell people, I mean, you make fun of us, but you guys and gals, y'all watch I'm sure you've seen the movie Rocky numerous times, and we all know Rocky that's fake, right? Rocky don't really win those belts. We all know that Apollo Creed would have beat him in Rocky 1 and 2. So I just get tired of that whole thing about people coming down on us because we watch wrestling because it's fake, when we all know that movies are fake. So that's all
well,
it is.
I don't pay
Entertainment.
I don't pay attention to people like that. Quite frankly, I like what I like, but honestly, I personally, I'm like the only person left on this world that still watch wrestling like a sport. That's why I don't even watch Monday Night Raw. I don't watch AEW. Even though all my favorite wrestlers are in AEW, Samoa Joe, Christian Cage, Christian Cage and Samoa Joe are like my two favorites. However, I don't watch it, and I'm not gonna pay $50 for a pay per view. What I do watch now is NWA wrestling on YouTube. And to me, I get a better thrill watching NWA wrestling on YouTube than I watch anything else. One, I can go back anytime and watch it. Two, I'm not that behind with it. So, I have to go back. Last time I watched AEW is when Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy was feuding. And so I had to go all the way back then and try to catch up. You know what I mean? So I don't have the time, nor do I have the patience. But of course, I like to go back and watch Peacock and watch all the old wrestling I grew up watching, and majority of my time is doing that.
I also like college basketball a lot too. Not as much as I used to. I've lost my passion for it somewhat. It's just not as good as it used to be to me because all the not just NIL but the one and done in college basketball to me has sort of watered college basketball down. But there ain't really nothing you can do about that. But I used to love watching Wimp Sanderson. I'm probably dating myself, but the Plaid Palace, Alabama. People don't realize Alabama has a great basketball history. They actually have, I think, the second highest winning percentage in the SEC, only behind Kentucky.
Right now, we're going to talk about that a little later, Spencer, about our other show, Rolling with the Tide. Four Horsemen presents Rolling with the Tide with Spencer Valen, William, and Roll Tide Rise Up. And sometimes Kangaroo Black comes on. You know who Kangaroo Black is, don't you?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, that cat, he's raw too. So before we go, tell everybody where we can find you. First of all, I want to say thank you for coming on. This is a new venture for me. This is the first time I'm back in 4 weeks. 4 weeks time. This is my first show back. I did it by myself, which is something I usually never do. I want you to tell everybody where we can find you and tell everybody you are the man of all college football. Oh, and your YouTube page. Your YouTube page is actually growing right now, and I want to say congratulations, man. It's
Yeah.
real big, man.
It's been picking up a lot of steam. It's because I've been giving a lot of hell to Lincoln Riley and the Skittle Shitters in L.A. and that kind of. I even sung a rap song about him. You probably appreciate it. I might send it to you, but maybe you can edit that stuff at the beginning. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning, so maybe you can edit that out when you upload it or whatnot. But
We laugh, man. We laugh.
well, I'm on Outlaw of College Football on YouTube. I also have a Twitter handle at OCF Productions. And as you know, on Facebook, you can catch me under Jesse Paul Clark.
Well, you know CTS is your home, so whenever you want to come back on, feel free to come. I mean, hell, this is your home. So come in, put your feet up. Next time you want to come in, put your feet up, grab a beer, and we're going to talk some Alabama football because do you feel it, Outlaw? I got the goosebumps. Do you feel it? September's coming up. Ass whoopings are coming.
It's getting close.
I can't wait to watch them.
What do you think about that matchup? That's what I'm thinking about.
Which one? What matchup?
The matchup in Austin.
I ain't worried about no damn Texas ATM.
You know we're 1-7. You know we're 1-7 all time against Texas.
Texas Longhorns. You talking about?
Yeah,
Texas Longhorns.
yeah, 1-7 all time.
For some reason, I thought you said College Station. I was like,
no. Now we're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the cult, man. Texas A&M's a cult.
Well, right now they got the parking lot looks like a Chrysler dealership. So,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, JPC, we're gonna catch you later, man. Like I said, when you want to come back on, let me know. This is your home. Put your feet up next time.
Let's get some Patron.
All right. All right. So that was JPC. It was always an honor to have him on. Real fast, I'm looking at something real fast. All right. So let's talk about Tuesday nights. We talked about Spencer. He's been holding the fort down. He's basically CTS. I mean, I couldn't do the last 4 weeks without him. You know, with pneumonia, strep throat, 2 jobs. Spencer's been pretty much holding down, but he has his own show. The Four Horsemen presents Rolling with the Tide. Waylon, William Bryant, Roll Tide Rise Up, Spencer, and Kangaroo Black comes on every once in a while. They talk, I mean, it's a fan-based show. Honestly, when you talk about 5 people who know Alabama football, those people know Alabama football, they put me to shame. And it's probably the best show we have on CTS, so check them out on Tuesday nights. It's a fan show, so I know Spencer was talking about to Stephen Hicks. You know, feel free to come on. You know, they'll put you on the damn screen. They don't give a shit. I mean, they don't care. I mean, they literally, if you just send them an email or something, they'll put you on the screen. They don't care. So feel free. We got one more. That's the last one. We got to go. We have to give Joey his flowers for giving us a platform to express ourselves. No, you give me a platform to express myself. If it wasn't for you guys, man, the last 4 weeks we wouldn't have CTS. We would have shut it down. And also, I want to go ahead and say this right now. Go over there and college football with Jonathan Lewis. Subscribe to his channel. Around the Table Sports with Ty Hayes. Go subscribe to his channel and be looking out for these watch-alongs. And with that said, y'all, no doubt roll tide Joey Spencer's over here giving me some flowers or some. Okay, that's all. You sweet. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta go to work. So remember, guys, I want to go ahead and tell y'all that I love you. Be careful out there. Enjoy your team. Don't be hating on other teams and everything like that. Just love each other and remember, win or lose, Auburn fans, you bring everyone so much joy, when you leave the room. But still. Anyway, y'all have a good night.